Amanda from Pontes Books here with the vocabulary focus for chapter 19 of The Prince and the Pauper. Today's vocab word is one that relates to some of our characters and how they are relating to other characters and also how other characters feel about them and their situations. It comes up quite a lot throughout the story. Our word for today is pity. So pity, like so many other words that we've covered and words in general, can have multiple different meanings. So we're kind of focusing in on one or two of those specific meanings for today. So the main definition that we're looking at is a feeling of sympathy for someone who is suffering. So that would be related to words like compassion and sympathy. Some non-examples being indifference and cruelty. But it is important to note that the word pity itself generally is one that has a little bit more of a negative connotation than some of the other synonyms like compassion and sympathy. A lot of times people will talk about how they don't want pity. They don't want someone to have that feeling. But generally the words sympathy and compassion don't have that same negative connotation to them. So you hear things like someone talking about someone having a pity party or having self-pity. It's just more frowned upon, I guess, than some of those other similar words that really have the same definition. It's really just that underlying meaning that goes with it that people are kind of against having used on them. So looking back at the etymology of this word, it can be traced back to, multiple different languages, one of them being Latin. So pietatem, if that's how you would pronounce it, meaning piety, loyalty, and duty. So we can trace it back all the way to Latin like we can with so many words. And then some example sentences. So a straightforward sentence: the townspeople took pity on the family whose house burned down. So they felt sympathy for them. They, felt sad that they were sad, however you want to word that. Our sentence, where we see this in the chapter, is this is a part where Edward is escaped from John Canty's gang, and he is now kind of on the run. And so he comes across this farmhouse with these two little girls and their mother, and she meaning the mother is trying to figure out where he came from and try and get him back there, but she thinks that he is kind of just this crazy lost boy, and obviously doesn't believe him when he says that he's the king. So here's our sentence from the chapter: the children's mother received the king kindly and was full of pity, for his forlorn condition and apparently crazed intellect touched her womanly heart. So again, she thinks he's crazy, like so many other characters when Edward's trying to explain to them who he really is, that she feels pity for him. She feels sorry for him. Some other forms, pity can be used as a verb, so it can be something that you can do. So then you could use pitying, pitied, all those different forms that go with verb endings. Also piteous could be an adjective. Pitiful, I didn't even add on there, is another adjective. So there's lots of different forms that you can use for this word. Pities as like a plural form of the noun. So there are all sorts of different versions of this word. And it does come up in, like I said before, kind of commonly used phrases. So people talking about a pity party. Also, there's a famous quote, "I pity the fool," where you can see that word come up as well. So it's a commonly used word, not one that just comes up in classics, one that's used all the time. So that's pity. Hopefully you learned something. Have a good rest of your day.